Hi friends, I'm excited to read a story to you today, and it's a story about a place that I like a lot. I'm going to give you some hints first to see if you can guess. Here's my first hint. It's a bucket and a shovel. Can you think of places that are fun to use a bucket and a shovel? That's your first clue. Here's another clue. I have clam shells. One's big and one's small. They have different colors. And sand dollars. Another one that's big and one that's small, different colors. And I have this fun shell that you can use if you put it up to your ear and you can hear a sound inside. And if I told you what sound you could hear, it would definitely give away what my book's about. But I wonder if you have a guess. What do you think I might want to read you a story about today? Did any of you guess the beach? I have a story called The Seashore Book that's all about the ocean. Would you like to read it with me? The Seashore Book. What is the seashore like? A little boy asked his mother. He lived in the mountains and had never seen the sea. His mother smiled. Let's pretend, she said. It is early morning at the seashore, and it is hard to tell where the sea stops and the sky begins. They are the same smoky gray until the mist shifts from gray to dark white, from dark white to pale purple, from pale purple to hazy blue, and then suddenly the sun breaks through. It warms the cool sand, it turns the sea green, and the beach is golden gray. You run down to the water's edge, one small dark spot against the brightness of the sand and sea. You bend over and pick up a stone, washed smooth by the sea. You find tiny brown snail shells and oyster shells, crusty gray outside and smooth pearly pink inside. You pick up a clam shell half open, and inside a live clam snaps the shell closed. In my hand, the little boy asks. In your hand, his mother says. Then you reach down again and pick up a wet white gull feather from the gulls flying overhead. We sit at the edge of the water and build a sand castle of wet sand until the waves wash up and suck it back into the sea. The cold water makes your skin feel like peppermint, and you are tired. You lie down in the hot noonday sun now. It feels warm as a big soft cat covering you, taking away the chill of the waves. The swish-swashing sound of them lulls you to sleep. I watch you while you sleep, and you don't see two little gray sandpipers run past you. But when you wake up, you do see their claw prints like pencil lines in the sand. You rub your eyes, and it seems there is nothing in the world except the sound of the wind and the rising and falling song of the waves. You stand and look at the ocean, far, far out. So far it seems a toy. A little white sailboat skims over the water and disappears. The tide is going out. I'm hungry, you say. I am too. So we wade over to a big rock covered with seaweed and moss. We sit there together and eat our sandwiches and drink lemonade from our thermos and watch the small brown sand crabs squaggling at our toes. An airplane flies low in the sky. Its shadow on the sand is like a gigantic bird. You leap off the rock and chase after it until it is gone. I watch you throw your head back and twirl yourself around and around until you are too dizzy to stand and you fall down on the sand. The wind is getting cooler. Long purple streaks of clouds are forming in the sky. We take each other's hands and walk down the beach toward home. The fishing pier we pass is white as snowfall with hundreds of crying seagulls waiting for the fishing boats to come in when the sun sets. The evening air is so still that the life buoy's ding, ding, dong sounds right next to us, close and clear and loud. We climb to the top of the dune away from the ocean, But we stop and look down across the seagrass to the sea. The setting sun is a huge orange ball. You are so tired when we get home that you can hardly stay awake through your hot bath and your dinner. We barely have time for a kiss goodnight before you fall asleep. Outside, the lighthouse is flashing, golden gleam on, golden gleam gone. But you don't see it. You are sleeping so deeply. You don't hear the tide rising. You don't see the small crescent moon outside your window. The ocean is bursting in waves along the shore, covering the rock where we sat and ate our lunch, carrying up seaweed and shells to the sand. The little boy leaned against his mother and smiled. I like the seashore a lot, he said. And now I can always close my eyes and be there the way I was just now with you. The end. I wonder, have you ever been to the seashore before? If you have, I wonder, can you close your eyes and imagine what it was like when you were there? Did it look like the ocean in this book, or was it different? When I close my eyes, I can imagine standing on the cliff and looking down at the ocean. The seashore looks very different in different places. Here in Northern California, high cliffs surround the sea near many beaches. The cliffs are fun places to watch and listen to the ocean. I imagine how the waves sound rolling in and crashing against the rocks, covering the sand and then rolling back out. I imagine the smell of the salty air and the sea life as it mixes with the smell of the grass and the plants growing on the cliff where I stand. I see the gray clouds in the sky above me, and I look out across the sea to where the dark gray ocean and light gray clouds meet at the horizon in a thin gray line. I imagine how the cool wind feels against my skin and blows my hair as I watch and listen to the sound of the waves. As the sun breaks through the clouds, I imagine the blue sky and how warm the sun feels against my back. I see the birds walking on the wet sand in search of crabs to eat, some flying low over the waves looking for fish. It makes me feel happy to imagine a place I love so much. I think using our imagination is a really fun way to be able to go different places. So in this book, the little boy used his imagination and his mom described him what it was like to go to the ocean. Are there places you can use your imagination and pretend to go? Maybe it said he lived in the mountains. Maybe you could use your imagination and pretend and think about what it would be like to be in the mountains. This is my favorite page in the book. It's an ocean and a seashore where there's not very many people, just the little boy and his mom, and the seagulls, and the shells, and their sand castle they made. Have fun today using your imagination. I can't wait to hear about the places that you go.